So on to The Underground, your upcoming comic. I got to read the first 2 issues of that. Why don't you tell us about that?
Sure. Well, it takes place in the South. The central character in our book is Wesley Fisher. She's an avid caver and works for the National Park Service, and she has gone through great lengths to try to get. When you're a park ranger, you don't really have a say in where you end up, but like any system, you can wheedle and keep putting in for a specific position. And she's finally ended up in Marion, Kentucky, which is actually a fictional place. There's a real Marion, Kentucky, but it's on the complete opposite end of the state from where we have this set, which is up in the mountains.
Geographic fiction.
Yes, we take license in this book, and she has managed to get herself assigned to this park for a while now because there's a cave system that's still largely unexplored in this park. The comics begins with Wes waking up in bed with Seth Ridge, another park ranger, and she's kind of starting to come to and realize, uh-oh, I've slept with one of my coworkers. And so it starts off on an awkward note. They end up going to a diner that morning, and all the talk of the town now is about that cave because the local entrepreneur, Winston Barefoot, wants to turn it into a show cave. Winston owns most things in the town, so any tourism is going to benefit him immensely. And he's one of these guys, we don't want him to be an outright villain. He's really there, he's like a lot of power belly type figures you see in a small town. You know, he's very charming even if you don't like him, and you know, even everyone grudgingly has to deal with him at some point. And of course she's trying to make the case to people. It's like you just go fumbling around in a cave, you're going to destroy something that's taken thousands of years to form. She tries to bring in the eco aspect of it, and the town just doesn't quite get it. They still treat her as the outsider.
It's a natural conflict that's going on everywhere. The town has one valuable natural resource, this cave. You run a bunch of tourists through there, and you're going to destroy everything that's geologically unique about it. On the other hand, a community is a fragile ecosystem too, and the town stays broke. That's going to fall apart. No bad guys in the story, just conflicting interests. Where things start to heat up is when Barefoot sends a couple of his guys to dynamite the opening of the cave, make it more tourist accessible.
Unfortunately, though, Seth takes his shift that morning, and because they've been talking about it, it's on his mind. It's not even actually on his trail that he's supposed to check out. So he switches places with another ranger to go look at it, and then walks up and goes, "What's this truck doing here?" and starts going into the cave, where he finds 2 of the flunkies in there doing what they're doing. And then it just goes downhill from there. As soon as the ranger points a flashlight in your eyes and you're calling him dude, it can't go anywhere good.
Yeah, what should have been a stern talking to spirals out of control, and before long, our 2 protagonists are running through their life through a really dangerous cave system.
And they have guns.
Yes.
But Wesley has the one thing no one else in the entire book does, which is a deep knowledge of caving.
Caving it's an incredibly dangerous activity, and it's an unforgiving activity. One small step in the wrong direction, and you're broken. You're shattered on the rocks in the darkness. Cavers get stuck into horrible places all the time. A rock shifts and you're crushed between thousands of pounds of dirt. Mm-hmm. If you don't place your arms right when you're working your way through a narrow crack, you can wedge yourself in place, and if you're down there with somebody, they're going to have to break your collarbone to get you out. It's really a grueling thing. Mm-hmm. And Parker and I knew that no one had ever put this story, that this kind of environment into a comic before. Typically in a comic, if you're in a cave, within 4 pages, you're going to find either a lost city,
some gold, subterranean people,
actual skeletons,
your blood.
Yeah, living dinosaurs. But we realized there's enough really fascinating and horrible ways to die that we don't even need to go into fantasy for this. And that's where our story really kicks in.